Welcome to the Work Podcast, where we're all about unlocking the secrets to success in the world of business careers.
I'm King,
And I'm AJ.
and we're your hosts for today's episode. But guess what? This episode is just a kickoff to our exciting three-part podcast series. So you guys can definitely look forward to more interesting discussions about business careers.
And today, we are diving into the topic of work and knowledge. This is an important topic because I guess I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in thinking that the transition from university life to the professional field can seem daunting, especially for students. And in fact, I won't be surprised if the majority of students find this transition very challenging, especially when practical guidance on how to navigate the professional field and landscape is often not taught to us in class, right?
Exactly. We don't really have classes on those, and that's why in this episode we'll be exploring how our guest speaker today, Nina Palafox, has navigated her career journey and how she transitioned from being a college student to a working professional. In fact, she's my sister who I know just got home and is very tired. So I'd like to say thank you for joining us. I know this is going to be an interesting episode because we're going to have a professional perspective that will give us fresh insights on how to be prepared in building our careers. Okay, Atenina, welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone.
Please introduce yourself and share the story of your career journey with our work listeners. We heard you're working for a marketing company. How's it so far?
So far, my company is Malinlo Trina, so it's a global advertising company. But for the one here in the Philippines, it's called Malinlo Trina Group of Companies. So basically, it's a big advertising group with multiple parang tentacles. So you have the PR arm, you have events, you have production, and so on and so forth. So it's been really stressful nowadays since a lot of the brands are starting off with their marketing campaigns. But as long as you have a good team, as long as you start early, then okay naman yun.
Okay.
Yeah, I imagine it must be very stressful. But I'm sure with all that experience, you have some interesting stories and some valuable insights to share to us, which we, along with our listeners, could learn a lot from.
Since this is our first episode, we want to start with the beginning of a person's career journey, which is the transition from college to the workforce. People say that career journeys start way before graduating college, but still, the transition from being in the academe to being a full-time professional is daunting, and we could use all the help we can get. That's why we're here, to provide you with insights and knowledge that will hopefully guide you all to be the next business leaders of your country, of the country.
And we're so lucky to be getting that guidance and inspiration from a business professional, Atenina, who is successfully and is continuously navigating her career journey. So, without further ado, let us now dive deep into our topic for today, which is work and knowledge. So, here's my first question for you, Atenina. When did you graduate college pala?
I graduated just last year,
Oh,
2023.
and how long have you been working under the marketing scene
I've
pala?
been working for about 7 months, I think, 7 or 8 months.
I see. And when you were in college, did you immediately figure out which career path that you're gonna take?
Yeah, I think when I was in college, I knew that I was gonna be in the marketing field naman. Pero what I didn't know when I was looking for work already after graduation was I was going into a more niche um road to it. So that's PR. So that's something I've never really thought of going to. I really thought of myself as someone who'd go to the brand, more doing more for like an overall marketing. But this was an unexpected move. But still, it's something na I learned naman pa rin in college.
Hmm. So, did you find out that you had to move into the PR niche like after college now?
Literally, I only realized that when I was looking for work na.
Oh, I see, I see.
So you mentioned you were working in PR.
Mm.
How did you decide that yun yung field na gusto mong pasukan?
Well, honestly, it was like, to be real lang, parang I think majority of the people naman, when you graduate, sometimes your plans don't really work out. So for me, knowing that, Mullenlow is a big company, knowing that I have some knowledge naman on it, and and honestly, it parang, how do I say this? Parang mas maganda yung offer sa akin, and
Mm-hmm.
also yung parang scope of work na they gave in the description. Parang I was like, oh, let's try this. Like, wala naman mangyayari. Wala namang mawawala sa akin if I don't try. So, yun.
What part of the scope in PR made it seem na parang, oh yeah, I'll try it out.
Well, it was part the what's interesting is one of the description, the job roles that I have now would be leading, strategizing PR campaign. So that's something naman that is taught to me, or I was trained for in college. But specifically in PR, that's something new kasi in college we learned very little lang, like very surface level, like influencers, mga media, ganon. Pero now that I'm working in the PR industry, parang it's so much more than just the influencers and the media. It's about really creating value for the brand by utilizing the influence of our KOLs and of the media. Kasi I see now na malaki talaga yung hatak ng influencers and ng media to getting the objective of a brand's marketing campaign.
Mm.
I see. Now, let's take a step back and try to remember naman the first time that you entered the corporate world after college. So, were there steps you took that helped you prepare to be in the workforce?
Yeah, so I think first one is before you get a job, you should complete all your requirements like really early on. So I think for me, I did it in 1 week, but then that was a lot of pressure. So for those, I guess, for those that would be entering the workforce pa lang, the graduating ones, do it at least 2 weeks before so that you don't have to rush, you don't have to worry. Lalo na if the company that you're applying for gave you an offer na and you said yes. Sometimes kasi they wouldn't give you a lot of time to accomplish all of these government documents. And we know naman na that takes a really long time. So that's one tip. Second is to research on the industry or the company that you're applying for, because it would really help you, and it would really make it easier for you when you're getting into a company that that you also like. Because if you don't like the company that you're applying to, or the company that you got into, it's really hard na you stay there and you produce good work also.
Yeah, agree. Actually, in our class, in one of my classes, we actually found out that even if there's high pay, if people
Mm.
don't like the work, they tend to really
Yeah, that's true.
leave the job.
Mm.
And a
Mm.
follow-up question lang then on the earlier question, would
Yeah.
you say that the transition from being a student to an employee is hard?
In terms of the documents, no. Pero I think mentally, parang you need support lang. Kasi parang syempre, when you're a student, you're used to having this structure. Like you have a routine na, diba? You have deadlines, you have group work, and so it's parang nandun na siya. Pero when you're at work, you still have some sort of structure. Pero mas madaming unexpected things that you have to prepare na minsan hindi mo alam yung gagawin mo. So in that part, parang that's the difficult part from transitioning from a student to now uh, a working individual. Also because syempre you have bills na you have to pay. That's also something na it's a big chunk of the transition that you have to go through.
Saan banda yung bills mo, ate?
Grab,
Alam kong binabayaran yung bills sa condo mo.
whatever, basta kung for those that would have to pay another bills, like kunyari you transition na from living at home with your family to renting a condo, an apartment. That's something na hindi naman tinuturo sa school.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, agree.
hindi din siya tinuturo in most families. It's something that you learn as you experience it. So, yun.
Hmm. So you mentioned the lack of structure, yung you need like support systems, etc. So what else? What other big challenges have you faced in your career?
Um, to be honest, it's just about the clients. So if you're from the agency side kasi, syempre the brands will be your clients. So if you don't have good clients, even if the easiest work or the easiest task, they can make it difficult for you just because they're not good clients. So yon, that one you really need a good team sa ganon kasi um syempre not everyone naman is strong or mabilis mag-isip. So or strategic. So when that time comes na when the client is being difficult, hindi mo kailangan na um isarili yun. That's why you have a team so you can share it and
Hmm.
you can strategize on how you can handle or what you can do for the client's request.
Additional question lang then, because you mentioned, you need a good team to really help you navigate with different clients and of course the other problems at work. One of the things I'm personally worried about then kasi is like the team I'll be working with once I actually work na. Because at UP, I'm used to this kind of culture. Everyone's working, everyone's doing their job, everyone's doing their part. So what I'm worried, what if hindi ganon in the real workplace? Like, have you ever experienced that? Like, may mga free riders kang teammates, and how were you able to handle that?
Well, luckily for me, wala naman. Everyone does their job, and I guess that's partly because if we don't do our jobs, we get fired. So I think yun yung biggest motivation really for people to still to not be a freeloader. But then hindi mo maiiwasan, even 'di ba in school na you really have teammates na hindi mo ka-vibe or hindi mo gusto yung kaugali or they're too bossy, they're late sa deadlines or whatnot. So, what you can do lang as adults, syempre, just bring it up to them personally. And then talk to them in a constructive way. So, just always think na when you're giving feedback to your teammates na it's nothing personal and that whatever you're saying is just to help them and not to attack them or naman or anything. So uh I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thanks for that. And also now for my next question naman, how did you plan for your career growth? Do you have any resources, materials, anything that has been most influential in your professional growth?
In my professional growth, well honestly, a lot of it is from my team or my supervisors internally. So unfortunately, I haven't seen a lot of um content online or materials that would parang personally would have some effect on me. But I've seen some TikToks, although I scrolled past through it. Parang there are some I think influencers or content creators naman that would give you some tips on growth. Like kunyari, this is something that I did when I was writing my resume na tips on how to parang make your resume stand out or
Yeah.
websites that you can look for if you're looking for a job. Tas, di ba, they have parang filters na if you're looking for a job here in QC lang or a specific salary. So that's something na, those are the two resources that I found helpful. And also, when you're um preparing for an interview, there are a lot of tips online, whether it's TikTok, it's IG Reels or YouTube na you can use to help prepare yourself when it comes to your interviews. Kasi a lot of them naman honestly are the same naman. Pero my tip for that when you're when you're preparing for your job interview is one, you research your company or you research the industry that you're applying for, and you sort of get to know also your interviewer. So that's something that you can look up actually in LinkedIn or through the website. So for example, if you're applying for a food group, you can parang tweak your answers to something that's related to food. So, yung mga ganun tips, that's something na super helpful in your interview kasi that says na to the interviewer, you research about my company. So that means you care about my company. Two, um, because you're this type of person and the type of person you are is aligned with our company, that's a good sign kasi that means I have to train you less. Right? And third, be open about sharing some personal experiences that is still relevant to your job description. So, for example, if meron kang org experiences, that would show na you headed this event or you did this project. And then, important yun sa job role na pinost naman ng company na you're applying for, then that's also a good sign rin for your interviewers kasi for them parang you're not you're but it shows na you've actually done something na it doesn't kasi usually they don't really care about your grades eh. They don't even ask for it. What they care about in your resume are your experiences. So those are the three things that I think or the resources that I used for my growth.
Follow-up question lang din on that. Um, you mentioned they didn't, require your grades. Like even
No,
as a documentary requirement, they didn't get your
no,
transcript.
no,
Oh,
no.
I see.
Like talaga from all the companies that I applied for before, no one cared about the grade. Like siguro if you put like one of your achievements is parang your honors, parang it's a good sign. Pero I think just one of them, one out of whatever, whichever number, parang yun lang sila nag-bring up, but the rest they didn't really care about it. They cared more about your org experiences, your internships, mga ganon.
I see. Thank you for that. Thank you for letting us know.
So,
Parang just para hindi kayo ma-pressure din masyado na I mean syempre grades matter, but then in the workforce parang even if you're the smartest in the room, like pagdating mo sa workforce it's completely different. You're the newbie, you're the one learning. So and sometimes more often than not, the things that you learn in the classroom usually there are a lot more things na you're gonna learn in the workforce na hindi tinuro sa'yo in college. So yeah.
so how would you advise students like me who don't have any org experience or internship so far going into the workforce?
For that one, I think just use your charm.
Paano yun? Wala akong
Your charm.
trabaho.
Or if you have significant parang tasks like this na you can show to them like in your portfolio, that's something that you can also add.
Okay. Di lang pwede
Wala.
maganda ka, ganun.
If you don't have experiences or like internships, parang medyo, besides na your honors, parang medyo mahirap na to prove.
So would you say the landscape for the workforce right now is super competitive?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is super competitive kasi parang I know some of my friends, it took them a few months to land the job. So if I were you, I'd advise na like at least a month before you graduate, you already start looking for jobs, you already start applying. Kasi once you graduate na, I'm not sure yung with the time, yung school calendar ng UP, pero by the time it reaches August, usually that's the time na a lot of people are applying already. So if you
Hmm.
graduate by siguro June, siguro by May, you should start already looking for a job para like ako, even before I graduated, I already had a job. Parang ganun. So that parang, it's hard kasi na a lot of people, syempre you're not only competing with a fresh grad, but you're also competing with, yung mga yung magpapalit ng job. So,
Right, right. So you mentioned, Ren, all these tips about getting a job, etc., growing. What are some things that you did or things that you still do to make sure that you're still growing? So like, you're not just stagnant.
well, for that, honestly, I don't think I've done anything to keep growing because right now I'm really super busy with my current tasks. Pero I guess what I would do when I'm freer now with my schedule is mm, well, I guess to practice skills lang that I learned or did in high school. I did in college, but I haven't done in a while since working. So that includes creating strategies for a whole 360 or IMC campaign. So that's something na in college I was trained parang my entire stay there, and I also enjoyed doing. So that's something that I haven't done here in PR kasi nga it's just PR. Not like in college na it's a 360 or IMC. That means parang it's a combination of events, of advertising, of OH, of all of these marketing initiatives that you can think of. So that's something na I think if I would be moving to a different company in the future, that's something na I need to relearn again or at least to practice again.
It
And
sounds like,
Yeah.
yes, go
sorry.
ahead, go ahead.
I was just about to say na it sounds like, well, PR is such a niche, diba?
Mm-hmm.
So when you move to, let's say, hypothetically speaking, you go to another company, would you apply for it again, or do you really just want to go 360 like in college?
I think I'd go for a 360 because that one made me really happy whenever would make good campaigns with my group mates that was in front of a panel that consisted of not only our dean but also guest attendees from actual brands that would comment na, oh, this is good, this is good, this would actually work. Can we borrow this idea? So that one was more fulfilling sa akin than the current job, unfortunately, that I'm doing. Kasi parang the one I'm doing kasi it's very structured na it's a whole team effort. It goes through a lot of approvals. Pero in terms of creativity, which is something na I'm looking for, but I don't have a lot in my current work. Yun yung I think not main, but one of the major factors that would make me wanna go do 360 or IMC compared to just staying in PR.
I see. I see.
Mm.
Now, still in relation to growth pa rin while in the workplace. So speaking of learnings and growth, do you believe that learning doesn't stop even after college graduation, especially now that you're already working?
Oh yeah, definitely. It really doesn't stop because you know what? Majority of the work that I'm doing, I didn't learn it in college. I had an idea, but like doing parang cost estimates, um, managing your clients or building a relationship with them, um, parang doing contracts with KOLs, with your suppliers, looking for venues and such. That wasn't taught at all in college. So really, it learning just is continuous and is done every day.
Is it like you're back to zero after college or no naman?
No naman. Well, it depends on what your job is naman kasi talaga. Like kunyari if you're in in finance, siguro I think I can't say the same. I can talk for them naman, pero assuming na you're you're in finance, parang I don't think you'll be back to zero. But in my case, hindi naman siya totally back to zero kasi I still have some background in it. Pero I guess more on the executional part of what we learn in college. That's something na is new, at least for me, um, in my current workplace.
We talked about learning, growing, things of that nature. So far it's always been your teammates or ikaw mismo.
Hmm.
Pero were you mentored by someone in your career?
Oh yeah. So how it works in the company is naman, we learn as we go. Pero in terms of the mentorship naman, it's just our supervisor or even my current boss who was actually my prof before in college. Para
Wow.
yeah, so parang in terms of mentorship, parang ano lang, like you just have someone to instruct you with what to do, so that, and then parang along the way, nandun sila with you, and then hanggang sa ikaw na lang mag-isa. Na you can always
Mm,
check back naman with them, like confirm with them and everything, pero ganun parang when you're a parent lang rin na you're with them to guide them, with their life, along their life, but then later on they'll
yeah.
let you do your own life na rin. Parang ganun. So it's the same.
So they're just like guiding you, and then eventually they'll just let you do your own thing.
Yeah, they let you do your own thing sometimes. More often than not, later on, they'll actually make you lead.
Mm,
So yeah.
okay. What's the most valuable lesson that you learned from your supervisor?
Is to ask for help. So it's the same in school na there's nothing wrong with telling people na you can't do it alone or you're having a hard time. So it's the same with your workplace, but that also depends on the culture that you have. But luckily in my workplace's culture, parang mas okay na you tell me that you're having a hard time and that you need help rather than magkakaproblema tayo in the end. That's harder for us to solve. So that's the biggest um learning that I got from all of my supervisors, is to ask for help.
Yeah, and hopefully once we work, we also find companies with that kind of
Mm.
culture, like it's okay to ask questions.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Usually,
and
yeah. Usually naman, if your supervisor is nice, especially if they're young pa, parang they'll really be okay with you asking questions. Kasi parang mas nakakapagod kasi if kunyari you have a session, like you have a meeting, tapos you give them all the training in one go. Usually that doesn't work. Like all the information overload. Like kahit ako minsan, like hindi ko din makukuha lahat yon. But I'll just keep asking questions anyway. So it's better for them. It's easier than on their part na they'll just, guide you along the way.
but hold on, does that mean like the older supervisors are more non-receptive to questions?
Ah, pag ganon, usually they just ask yung younger ones, yung lower,
Yeah,
parang, oh, tulungan mo si ganyan, ganyan, ganyan lang. Mm.
yeah, gets naman. And so, we've been talking about learning from your team, learning from your supervisors. For our last question naman in this portion, kahit na hindi na from a mentor or from your teammates during the workplace, what's the best career advice that you've ever received? And what advice would you also give to someone entering the corporate world?
I guess the best advice really would be to look for a job that you would love. Kasi if it's not something that you like or will like in the next couple of years, kahit na magaling ka, it's gonna drain you. So that's something na parang I would recommend for graduates or for graduating students to consider when they're looking for a job. Because I understand, syempre, na there are people na would go into a job na even if they don't really like it, they would need it because of the pay or the benefits, right? Or because um mas mas malapit sa bahay nila, so that would cost less and everything. Pero um when it comes to your job, you should also consider yourself. So if it's something that you like or something that you don't like, then that's up to you. So like freaking kunyari, freaking
What's
kunyari,
up?
parang I know that he's interested in law a lot. So luckily for him, parang if that's something na he would really like and would see himself na mafulfill siya in a couple of years, parang go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think, well, I'm lucky enough to be in a position where I could go have a career
Yeah.
that I would enjoy. I know a
Mm.
lot of people don't have that opportunity.
Mm.
So I guess what Ate is trying to say is if you have the opportunity to look to go in your dream job or at least do something that you love doing,
Mm.
just do it.
Mm.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, before we end this podcast, Nina, do you have any encouraging words for our student listeners for their future careers?
Um, just this one is also something that I would tell myself is um you always have to remember that when you go into the workforce na, how whatever you're going through, whether you're stressed or you're swamped with work, you always should know, even with school um you should always remember na you at the end of the day, work is just work and that you are more than your work. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I resonated with this.
Yeah.
I'm at the point na I'm actually debating whether like competition, ACADS, or work, like which one do I choose? I have to sacrifice one, but then
Yeah.
there's also me. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for that advice, Ate Nina.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tanina, thank you so much for spending your valuable time with us today and sharing your experience and insights. Alam kong pagod ka na, so we'll end it at that. I'm sure our listeners learned a lot from our short but meaningful discussion.
I agree. And to our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to the pilot episode of the Work Podcast. We were able to provide you with the guidance and the tips that you need as you start your own career journeys.
Be sure to join us next time for more insightful conversations and inspiration. Until then, let's work together.